The Torah SKJV, Simplified King James Version. By Rodney Horrell. Copyright 2017. Numbers. And Yehovah spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take all of you the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their heads. From 20 years old and upwards, all that are able to go out to war in Israel, you and Aaron shall number them by their armies. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, each head of the house of his fathers. And these are the names of the men that shall stand with you: of the tribe of Reuben, Elizur the son of Shedeur; of Simeon, Shalumiel the son of Zurishaddai; of Judah, Nahshon the son of Amminadab; of Issachar, Nethaneel the son of Zeuar; of Zebulun, Eliab the son of Helon; of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim, Elishama the son of Ammihud; of Manasseh, Gamaliel the son of Pedahzur; of Benjamin, Abidan the son of Gideoni; of Dan, Ahiezer the son of Ammissaddai; of Asher, Pagiel the son of Ochran; of Gad, Eliasaph the son of Duel; of Naphtali, Ahira the son of Enan. These were the renowned of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel. And Moses and Aaron took these men which are designated by their names. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the 2nd month, and they declared their born after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, by their heads. As Yehovah commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. And the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, by their heads, every male from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,500. Of the children of Simeon, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, those that were numbered of them, according to the number of the names, by their heads, every male from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Simeon, were 59,300. Of the children of Gad, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, were 45,650. Of the children of Judah, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Judah, were 74,600. Of the children of Issachar, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Issachar, were 54,400. Of the children of Zebulun, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Zebulun, were 57,400. Of the children of Joseph, namely, of the children of Ephraim, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Ephraim, were 40,500. Of the children of Manasseh, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Manasseh, were 32,200. Of the children of Benjamin, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Benjamin, were 35,400. Of the children of Dan, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Dan, were 62,700. Of the children of Asher, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Asher, were 41,500. Of the children of Naphtali, throughout their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Naphtali, were 53,400. These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men, each one was for the house of his fathers. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel, by the house of their fathers, from 20 years old and upwards, all that were able to go out to war in Israel. Even all they that were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. But the Levites after the tribe of their fathers were not numbered among them. For Yehovah had spoken to Moses, saying, Only that you shall not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel. But you shall appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels on it, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the vessels on it, and they shall minister to it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle. And when the tabernacle goes forward, the Levites shall take it down, and when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up, and the stranger that comes near shall be put to death. And the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard, throughout their armies. But the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of testimony, that there is no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel, and the Levites shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of testimony. And the children of Israel did according to all that Yehovah commanded Moses, so they did. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard, with the ensign of their father's house, they shall pitch far from and around the tabernacle of the congregation. And on the east side towards the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies, and Nahshon the son of Amminadab shall be captain of the children of Judah. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 74,600. And those that will pitch next to him shall be the tribe of Issachar, and Nethaneel the son of Zeuar shall be captain of the children of Issachar. And his army, and those that were numbered in it, were 54,400. Then the tribe of Zebulun, and Eliab the son of Helon shall be captain of the children of Zebulun. And his army, and those that were numbered on it, were 57,400. All that were numbered in the camp of Judah were 186,400, throughout their armies. These shall first set out. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben according to their armies, and the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Elizur the son of Shittur. And his army, and those that were numbered in it, were 46,500. And those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon, and the captain of the children of Simeon shall be Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad, and the captain of the sons of Gad shall be Eliasaph the son of Reuel. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 45,650. All that were numbered in the camp of Reuben were 151,450, throughout their armies. And they shall set out in the second rank. Then the tabernacle of the congregation shall move forward with the camp of the Levites in the middle of the camp, as they encamp, so shall they move forward, every man in his place by their standards. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim according to their armies, and the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama the son of Ammihud. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 40,500. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the children of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel the son of Pedahzur. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin, and the captain of the sons of Benjamin shall be Abidan the son of Gideoni. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 35,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim were 108,100, throughout their armies. And they shall go forward in the third rank. The standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side by their armies, and the captain of the children of Dan shall be Ezer the son of Ammissaddai. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 62,700. And those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher, and the captain of the children of Asher shall be Pagiel the son of Ochran. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali shall be Ahira the son of Enan. And his army, and those that were numbered of them, were 53,400. All they that were numbered in the camp of Dan were 157,600. They shall go behind with their standards. These are those which were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers. All those that were numbered of the camps throughout their armies were 603,550. But the Levites were not numbered among the children of Israel, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And the children of Israel did according to all that Yehovah commanded Moses, so they pitched by their standards, and so they moved forward, everyone after their families, according to the house of their fathers. These also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that Yehovah spoke with Moses in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron, Nadab the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priests which were anointed, whom he consecrated to minister in the priest's office. And Nadab and Abihu died before Yehovah, when they offered strange fire before Yehovah, in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no children, and Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron their father. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister to him. And they shall keep his charge, and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation, to do the service of the tabernacle. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the children of Israel, to do the service of the tabernacle. And you shall give the Levites to Aaron and to his sons, they are completely given to him out of the children of Israel. And you shall appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall guard at their priest's office, and the stranger that comes near shall be put to death. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, And look, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel instead of all the firstborn that opens the womb among the children of Israel, therefore the Levites shall be mine. Because all the firstborn are mine, for on the day that I struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt I sanctified to myself all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast, they shall be mine, I am Yehovah. And Yehovah spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, Number the children of Levi after the house of their fathers, by their families, every male from a month old and upwards you shall number them. And Moses numbered them according to the word of Yehovah, as he was commanded. And these were the sons of Levi by their names, Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon by their families, Libni, and Shimei. And the sons of Kohath by their families, Amram, and Izahar, Hebron, and Uzziel. And the sons of Merari by their families, Mali, and Mushi. These are the families of the Levites according to the house of their fathers. Of Gershon was the family of the Libnites, and the family of the Shimeites, these are the families of the Gershonites. Those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males, from a month old and upwards, even those that were numbered of them were 7,500. The families of the Gershonites shall pitch behind the tabernacle westward. And the ruler of the house of the father of the Gershonites shall be Eliasaph the son of Lael. And the charge of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation shall be the tabernacle, and the tent, the covering on it, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the hangings of the court, and the curtain for the door of the court, which is by the tabernacle, and by the altar round about, and the cords of it for all the service on it. And of Kohath was the family of the Amramites, and the family of the Izaharites, and the family of the Hebronites, and the family of the Uzzielites, these are the families of the Kohathites. In the number of all the males, from a month old and upwards, were 8,600, keeping the charge of the sanctuary. The families of the sons of Kohath shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle southward. And the ruler of the house of the father of the families of the Kohathites shall be Elizaphan the son of Uzziel. And their charge shall be the ark, and the table, and the menorah, and the altars, and the vessels of the sanctuary with which they minister, and the hanging, and all the service on it. And Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest shall be ruler over the ruler of the Levites, and have the oversight of them that keep the charge of the sanctuary. Of Merari was the family of the Malites, and the family of the Mushites, these are the families of Merari. And those that were numbered of them, according to the number of all the males, from a month old and upwards, were 6,200. And the ruler of the house of the father of the families of Merari was Zuriel the son of Abihail. These shall pitch on the side of the tabernacle northward. And under the care and charge of the sons of Merari shall be the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars on it, and the pillars on it, and the sockets on it, and all the vessels on it, and all its service there. And the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords. But those that encamp before the tabernacle towards the east, even before the tabernacle of the congregation eastward, shall be Moses and Aaron and his sons, keeping the charge of the sanctuary for the charge of the children of Israel, and the stranger that comes near shall be put to death. All that were numbered of the Levites, which Moses and Aaron numbered at the commandment of Yehovah, throughout their families, all the males from a month old and upwards, were 22,000. And Yehovah said to Moses, Number all the firstborn of the males of the children of Israel from a month old and upwards, and take the number of their names. And you shall take the Levites for me, I am Yehovah, instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of all the firstlings among the cattle of the children of Israel. And Moses numbered, as Yehovah commanded him, all the firstborn among the children of Israel. And all the firstborn males by the number of names, from a month old and upwards, of those that were numbered of them, were 22,273. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle, and the Levites shall be mine, I am Yehovah. And for those that are to be redeemed of the 273 of the firstborn of the children of Israel, which are more than the Levites, you shall take 5 shekels each by the poll, after the shekel of the sanctuary shall you take them, the shekel is 20 gerahs. And you shall give the money, where the odd number of them is to be redeemed, to Aaron and to his sons. And Moses took the redemption money of them that were over and above them that were redeemed by the Levites. He took the money of the firstborn of the children of Israel, 1,365 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And Moses gave the money of them that were redeemed to Aaron and to his sons, according to the word of Yehovah, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Take the sum of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi, after their families, by the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upwards even until 50 years old, all that enter into the army, to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This shall be the service of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation, about the most holy things. And when the camp sets forward, Aaron shall come, and his sons, and they shall take down the covering veil, and cover the ark of testimony with it. And shall put on it the covering of badgers' skins, and shall spread over a cloth completely of blue, and shall put in the staves on it. And upon the table of showbread they shall spread a cloth of blue, and put on it the dishes, and the spoons, and the bowls, and covers to cover it all, and the continual bread shall be on it. And they shall spread upon them a cloth of scarlet, and cover the same with a covering of badgers' skins, and shall put the staves into it. And they shall take a cloth of blue, and cover the menorah of the light, and its lamps, and its tongs, and its snuff dishes, and all the oil vessels on it, with which they minister to it. And they shall put it and all the vessels on it within a covering of badgers' skins, and shall put it upon a bar. And upon the golden altar they shall spread a cloth of blue, and cover it with a covering of badgers' skins, and shall put the staves into it. And they shall take all the instruments of ministry, with which they minister in the sanctuary, and put them in a cloth of blue, and cover them with a covering of badgers' skins, and shall put them on a bar. And they shall take away the ashes from the altar, and spread a purple cloth on it. And they shall put upon it all the vessels, with which they minister about it, even the censers, the flesh hooks, and the shovels, and the basins, all the vessels of the altar, and they shall spread upon it a covering of badgers' skins, and put the staves into it. And when Aaron and his sons have made an end of covering the sanctuary, and all the vessels of the sanctuary, as the camp is to move forward, after that, the sons of Kohath shall come to bear it, but they shall not touch any holy thing, or else they will die. These things are the burden of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation. And to the office of Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest belongs the oil for the light, and the sweet incense, and the daily meal offering, and the anointing oil, and the oversight of all the tabernacle, and of all that is in it, in the sanctuary, and in the vessels on it. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Do not any of you cut off the tribe of the families of the Kohathites from among the Levites. But so do to them, that they may live, and not die. When they approach to the most holy things, Aaron and his sons shall go in, and appoint them every one to his service and to his burden. But they shall not go in to see when the holy things are covered, or else they will die. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon, throughout the houses of their fathers, by their families. You shall number them from 30 years old and upwards until 50 years old, all that enter in to perform the service, to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This is the service of the families of the Gershonites, to serve, and for burdens. And they shall bear the curtains of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of the congregation, its covering, and the covering of the badger's skins that is above upon it, and the hanging for the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the hangings of the court, and the hanging for the door of the gate of the court, which is by the tabernacle and by the altar round about, and their cords, and all the instruments of their service, and all that is made for them, so shall they serve. At the appointment of Aaron and his sons shall be all the service of the sons of the Gershonites, in all their burdens, and in all their service, and you all shall appoint to them in charge all their burdens. This is the service of the families of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of the congregation, and their charge shall be under the hand of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. As for the sons of Merari, you shall number them after their families, by the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upwards even to 50 years old shall you number them, every one that enters into the service, to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation. And this is the charge of their burden, according to all their service in the tabernacle of the congregation, the boards of the tabernacle, and the bars on it, and the pillars on it, and sockets on it. And the pillars of the court round about, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, with all their instruments, and with all their service, and by name you all shall count the instruments of the charge of their burden. This is the service of the families of the sons of Merari, according to all their service, in the tabernacle of the congregation, under the hand of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. And Moses and Aaron and the prince of the congregation numbered the sons of the Kohathites after their families, and after the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upwards even to 50 years old, every one that enters into the service, for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. And those that were numbered of them by their families were 2,750. These were they that were numbered of the families of the Kohathites, all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, which Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of Yehovah by the hand of Moses. And those that were numbered of the sons of Gershon, throughout their families, and by the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upwards even to 50 years old, every one that enters into the service, for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. Even those that were numbered of them, throughout their families, by the house of their fathers, were 2,630. These are they that were numbered of the families of the sons of Gershon, of all that might do service in the tabernacle of the congregation, whom Moses and Aaron did number according to the commandment of Yehovah. And those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari, throughout their families, by the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upwards even to 50 years old, every one that enters into the service, for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. Even those that were numbered of them after their families, were 3,200. These are those that were numbered of the families of the sons of Merari, whom Moses and Aaron numbered according to the word of Yehovah by the hand of Moses. All those that were numbered of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron and the prince of Israel numbered, after their families, and after the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upwards even to 50 years old, every one that came to do the service of the ministry, and the service of the burden in the tabernacle of the congregation. Even those that were numbered of them, were 8,580. According to the commandment of Yehovah they were numbered by the hand of Moses, every one according to his service, and according to his burden, so were they numbered of him, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, that they put out of the camp every leper, and every one that has an issue, and whoever is defiled by the dead. Both male and female shall you all put out, you all shall put them outside the camp, that they do not defile their camps, in the middle of which I dwell. And the children of Israel did so, and put them out outside the camp, as Yehovah spoke to Moses, so did the children of Israel. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, when a man or woman shall commit any sin that mankind commit, to do a trespass against Yehovah, and that person is guilty. Then they shall confess their sin which they have done, and he shall return back his trespass with the principal on it, and add to it the fifth part on it, and give it to him against whom he has trespassed. But if the man has no close relative to return back the trespass to, let the trespass be returned back to Yehovah, even to the priest, beside the ram of the atonement, where an atonement shall be made for him. And every offering of all the holy things of the children of Israel, which they bring to the priest, shall be his. And every man's holy things shall be his, whatever any man gives the priest, it shall be his. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, if any man's wife go aside, and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it is hidden from the eyes of her husband, and is kept hidden, and she is defiled, and there is no witness against her, neither is she caught in the act. And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he is jealous of his wife, and she is defiled, or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he is jealous of his wife, and she is not defiled. Then shall the man bring his wife to the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, or put frankincense on it, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near, and set her before Yehovah. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and the priest shall take of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before Yehovah, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering, and the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causes the curse. And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say to the woman, if no man has lain with you, and if you have not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of your husband, you are free from this bitter water that causes the curse. But if you have gone aside to another instead of your husband, and if you are defiled, and some man has lain with you apart from your husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing, and the priest shall say to the woman, Yehovah make you a curse and an oath among your people, when Yehovah does make your thigh to rot, and your belly to swell. And this water that causes the curse shall go into your bowels, to make your belly to swell, and your thigh to rot, and the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causes the curse, and the water that causes the curse shall enter into her, and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before Yehovah, and offer it upon the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the offering, even the memorial on it, and burn it upon the altar, and afterwards shall cause the woman to drink the water. And when he has made her drink the water, then it shall come to pass, that, if she is defiled, and has done trespass against her husband, that the water that causes the curse shall enter into her, and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thigh shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people. And if the woman is not defiled, but is clean, then she shall be free, and shall conceive seed. This is the law of jealousies, when a wife goes aside to another instead of her husband, and is defiled. Or when the spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he is jealous over his wife, and shall set the woman before Yehovah, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazirite, to separate themselves to Yehovah, that person shall separate themselves from wine and strong drink, and shall not drink vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink, neither shall that person drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes, or dried. All the days of that person's separation shall that person eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All the days of the vow of that person's separation there shall no razor come upon their head, until the days are fulfilled, in which that person separated themselves to Yehovah. That person shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of their head grow. All the days that that person separated themselves to Yehovah that person shall not come near any dead body. That person shall not make themselves unclean for their father, or for their mother, for their brother, or for their sister, when they die, because the separation of that person's God is upon their head. All the days of that person's separation that person is holy to Yehovah. And if any man dies very suddenly by that person, and that person has defiled the head of their separation, then they shall shave their head in the day of their cleansing, on the 7th day shall that person shave it. And on the 8th day that person shall bring 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, to the priest, to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and make an atonement for that person, for that person sinned by the dead, and shall sanctify their head that same day. And that person shall dedicate to Yehovah the days of their separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering, but the days that were before shall be lost, because that person's separation was defiled. And this is the law of the Nazirite: when the days of their separation are fulfilled, that person shall be brought to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And that person shall offer their offering to Yehovah, 1 he lamb of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering, and 1 ewe lamb of the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish for peace offerings. And a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil, and their meal offering, and their drink offerings. And the priest shall bring them before Yehovah, and shall offer that person's sin offering, and that person's burnt offering. And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings to Yehovah, with the basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall offer also that person's meal offering, and that person's drink offering. And the Nazirite shall shave the head of their separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair of the head of their separation, and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall take the boiled shoulder of the ram, and 1 unleavened cake out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazirite, after the hair of their separation is shaven. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before Yehovah. This is holy for the priest, with the wave breast and heave shoulder, and after that the Nazirite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazirite who has vowed, and of that person's offering to Yehovah for their separation, beside that that person's hand shall get, according to the vow which that person vowed, so that person must do after the law of their separation. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons, saying, In this way you all shall bless the children of Israel, saying to them, Yehovah bless you, and keep you. Yehovah make his face shine upon you, and be gracious to you. Yehovah lift up his countenance upon you, and give you peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle, and had anointed it, and sanctified it, and all the instruments on it, both the altar and all the vessels on it, and had anointed them, and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before Yehovah, 6 covered wagons, and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox, and they brought them before the tabernacle. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be used in doing the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and you shall give them to the Levites, to every man according to his service. And Moses took the wagons and the oxen, and gave them to the Levites. He gave 2 wagons and 4 oxen to the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And he gave 4 wagons and 8 oxen to the sons of Merari, according to their service, under the hand of Ithamar the son of Aaron the priest. But to the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belonging to them was what they should bear upon their shoulders. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed, even the princes offered their offering before the altar. And Yehovah said to Moses, They shall offer their offering, each prince on his day, for the dedicating of the altar. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nahshon the son of Amminadab, of the tribe of Judah. And his offering was 1 silver dish, the weight on it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them were full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 spoon of 10 shekels of gold, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nahshon the son of Amminadab. On the second day Nethaneel the son of Zeuar, prince of Issachar, offered. He offered for his offering 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 spoon of gold of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nethaneel the son of Zeuar. On the third day Eliab the son of Helon, prince of the children of Zebulun, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliab the son of Helon. On the 4th day Elizur the son of Shittur, prince of the children of Reuben, did offer. His offering was 1 silver dish of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Elizur the son of Shittur. On the 5th day Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai, prince of the children of Simeon, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai. On the 6th day Eliasaph the son of Duel, prince of the children of Gad, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish of the weight of 130 shekels, a silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Eliasaph the son of Duel. On the 7th day Elishama the son of Ammihud, prince of the children of Ephraim, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Elishama the son of Ammihud. On the 8th day offered Gamaliel the son of Pedahzur, prince of the children of Manasseh. His offering was 1 silver dish of the weight of 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Gamaliel the son of Pedahzur. On the 9th day Abidan the son of Gideoni, prince of the children of Benjamin, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Abidan the son of Gideoni. On the 10th day Eliezer the son of Ammissaddai, prince of the children of Dan, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year. this was the offering of Ahiezer the son of Ammissaddai. On the 11th day Pagiel the son of Ochran, prince of the children of Asher, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year, this was the offering of Pagiel the son of Ochran. On the 12th day Ahira the son of Enan, prince of the children of Naphtali, offered. His offering was 1 silver dish, the weight of it was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a food offering. 1 golden spoon of 10 shekels, full of incense. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year, for a burnt offering. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of the first year, this was the offering of Ahira the son of Enan. This was the dedication of the altar, in the day when it was anointed, by the princes of Israel, 12 dishes of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 spoons of gold. Each dish of silver weighing 130 shekels, each bowl 70, all the silver vessels weighed 2,400 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Their 12 golden spoons, full of incense, weighing 10 shekels each, after the shekel of the sanctuary, all the gold of the spoons was 120 shekels. All the oxen for the burnt offering were 12 bullocks, the rams 12, the lambs of the first year 12, with their meal offering, and the kids of the goats for sin offering 12. And all the oxen for the sacrifice of the peace offerings were 24 bullocks, the rams were 60, the he-goats were 60, the lambs of the first year were 60. This was the dedication of the altar, after that it was anointed. And when Moses had gone into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of one speaking to him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of testimony, from between the 2 cherubims, and he spoke to him. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron, and say to him, When you light the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the menorah. And Aaron did so, he lit the lamps on it over against the menorah, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And this work of the menorah was of beaten gold, to the shaft on it, to the flowers on it, was beaten work, according to the pattern which Yehovah had shown Moses, so he made the menorah. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and cleanse them. And so shall you do to them, to cleanse them, sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean. Then let them take a young bullock with his meal offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock shall you take for a sin offering. And you shall bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation, and you shall gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. And you shall bring the Levites before Yehovah, and the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before Yehovah for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may do the service of Yehovah. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks, and you shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, to Yehovah, to make an atonement for the Levites. And you shall set the Levites before Aaron, and before his sons, and offer them for an offering to Yehovah. So shall you separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and you shall cleanse them, and offer them for an offering. For they are completely given to me from among the children of Israel, instead of those that open every womb, even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel, I have taken them to me. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I struck every firstborn in the land of Egypt I sanctified them for myself. And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there is no plague among the children of Israel, when the children of Israel come near to the sanctuary. And Moses, and Aaron, and all the congregation of the children of Israel, did to the Levites according to all that Yehovah commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did the children of Israel to them. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes, and Aaron offered them as an offering before Yehovah, and Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites in to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron, and before his sons, as Yehovah had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they to them. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, This is that which belongs to the Levites, from 25 years old and upwards they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And from the age of 50 years they shall stop waiting upon the service, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brothers in the tabernacle of the congregation, to keep the charge, and shall do no service. So shall you do to the Levites as to their service. And Yehovah spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the 2nd year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season. In the 14th day of this month, at evening, you all shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the statutes of it, and according to all the ceremonies on it, shall you all keep it. And Moses spoke to the children of Israel, that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at evening in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that Yehovah commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel. And there were certain men, who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day, and they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. And those men said to him, We are defiled by the dead body of a man, so we are kept back, that we may not offer an offering of Yehovah in his appointed season among the children of Israel. And Moses said to them, Stand still, and I will hear what Yehovah will command concerning you. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, If any man of you or of your generation shall be unclean because of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover to Yehovah. They shall keep at evening the 14th day of the 2nd month, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it to the morning, or break any bone of it, they shall keep it according to all the ordinances of the Passover. But the man that is clean, and is not in a journey, and ceases to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he did not bring the offering of Yehovah in his appointed season, that man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger shall abide among you, and will keep the Passover to Yehovah, according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the judgment on it, so shall he do, you all shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger, and for him that was born in the land. And on the day that the tabernacle was raised up the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely, the tent of the testimony, and at evening there was upon the tabernacle as it were the appearance of fire, until the morning. So it was always, the cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after that the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud dwelt, there the children of Israel pitched their tents. At the commandment of Yehovah the children of Israel journeyed, and at the commandment of Yehovah they pitched, as long as the cloud dwelt upon the tabernacle they rested in their tents. And when the cloud continued a long time upon the tabernacle for many days, then the children of Israel kept the charge of Yehovah, and did not journey. And so it was, when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of Yehovah they dwelt in their tents, and according to the commandment of Yehovah they journeyed. And so it was, when the cloud dwelt from evening to the morning, and that the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they journeyed, whether it was by day or by night that the cloud was taken up, they journeyed. Or whether it was 2 days, or a month, or a year, that the cloud continued upon the tabernacle, remaining on it, the children of Israel dwelt in their tents, and did not journey, but when it was taken up, they journeyed. At the commandment of Yehovah they rested in the tents, and at the commandment of Yehovah they journeyed, they kept the charge of Yehovah, at the commandment of Yehovah by the hand of Moses. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Make yourself 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shall you make them, that you may use them for the calling of the assembly, and for the journeying of the camps. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to you at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow with 1 trumpet, then the princes, which are heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves to you. When they both blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward. When they both blow an alarm the 2nd time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey, they shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, they both shall blow, but you all shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance always throughout your generations. And if you all go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresses you, then they both shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and you all shall be remembered before Yehovah your God, and you all shall be saved from your enemies. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months, they both shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am Yehovah your God. And it came to pass on the 20th day of the second month, in the second year, that the cloud was taken up from off the tabernacle of the testimony. And the children of Israel took their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran. And they first took their journey according to the commandment of Yehovah by the hand of Moses. In the first place went the standard of the camp of the children of Judah according to their armies, and over his army was Nahshon the son of Amminadab. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nethaneel the son of Zeuar. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab the son of Helon. And the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari moved forward, bearing the tabernacle. And the standard of the camp of Reuben moved forward according to their armies, and over his army was Elizur the son of Shetur. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Simeon was Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Gad was Eliasaph the son of Duel. And the Kohathites moved forward, bearing the sanctuary, and the others did set up the tabernacle before they came. And the standard of the camp of the children of Ephraim moved forward according to their armies, and over his army was Elishama the son of Ammihud. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamaliel the son of Pedahzur. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abidan the son of Gideoni. And the standard of the camp of the children of Dan moved forward, which was the rear guard of all the camps throughout their armies, and over his army was Ezer the son of Ammissaddai. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel the son of Ochran. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Naphtali was Ahira the son of Enan. So were the journeyings of the children of Israel according to their armies, when they moved forward. And Moses said to Hobab, the son of Ragal the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying to the place of which Yehovah said, I will give it to you, you come with us, and we will do you good, for Yehovah has spoken good concerning Israel. And he said to him, I will not go, but I will depart to my own land, and to my relatives. And he said, do not leave us, now, because you know how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and you may be to us instead of us. And it shall be, if you go with us, it shall be, that what goodness Yehovah shall do to us, the same will we do to you. And they departed from the mountain of Yehovah, 3 days' journey, and the ark of the covenant of Yehovah went before them in the 3 days' journey, to search out a resting place for them. And the cloud of Yehovah was upon them by day, when they went out of the camp. And it came to pass, when the ark moved forward, that Moses said, Rise up, Yehovah, and let your enemies be scattered, and let them that hate you flee before you. And when it rested, he said, Return, O Yehovah, to the many thousands of Israel. And when the people complained, it displeased Yehovah, and Yehovah heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of Yehovah burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the outermost parts of the camp. And the people cried to Moses, and when Moses prayed to Yehovah, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of Yehovah burnt among them. And the great mixed people that was among them lusted with great lust, and the children of Israel also wept again, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish, which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers, and the melons, and the leeks, and the onions, and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away, there is nothing at all, beside this manna, before our eyes. And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color on it as the color of bdellium. And the people went about, and gathered it, and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it, and the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent, and the anger of Yehovah was kindled greatly, Moses also was displeased. And Moses said to Yehovah, Why have you afflicted your servant? And why have I not found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people upon me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I borne them, that you should say to me, Carry them in your bosom, as a nursing father bear the sucking child, to the land which you swore to their fathers? Where should I get flesh to give to all this people? For they weep to me, saying, Give us flesh, that we may eat. I am not able to bear all these people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if you deal so with me, kill me, now, kill me, if I have found favor in your sight, and let me not see my wretchedness. And Yehovah said to Moses, Gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them to the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with you. And I will come down and talk with you there, and I will take of the Spirit which is upon you, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that you bear it not by yourself alone. And you say to the people, Sanctify yourselves for tomorrow, and you all shall eat flesh, for you all have wept in the ears of Yehovah, saying, Who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt, therefore Yehovah will give you flesh, and you all shall eat. You all shall not eat 1 day, or 2 days, or 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days. But even a whole month, until it comes out at your nostrils, and it is loathsome to you, because you all have despised Yehovah who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we come out outside of Egypt? And Moses said, The people, among whom I am, are 600,000 men on foot, and you have said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them, to suffice them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to suffice them? And Yehovah said to Moses, Is Yehovah's hand become short? You shall see now whether my word shall come to pass to you or not. And Moses went out, and told the people the words of Yehovah, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle. And Yehovah came down in a cloud, and spoke to him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it to the 70 elders, and it came to pass, that, when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied, and did not cease. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp, the name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad, and the Spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but did not go out to the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp. And there ran a young man, and told Moses, and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, My lord Moses, restrain them. And Moses said to him, Do you envy for my sake? If only the gift would be on all Yehovah's people and were prophets, and that Yehovah would put his Spirit upon them. And Moses went into the camp, he and the elders of Israel. And there went out a wind from Yehovah, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and it was 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. And the people stood up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day, and they gathered the quails, he that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all outside for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, before it was chewed, the wrath of Yehovah was kindled against the people, and Yehovah struck the people with a very great plague. And he called the name of that place Kibroth-Hattaavah, because there they buried the people that lusted. And the people journeyed from Kibroth-Hattaavah to Hazeroth, and dwelt at Hazeroth. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Has Yehovah indeed spoken only by Moses? Has he not spoken also by us? And Yehovah heard it? Now the man Moses was very humble, above all the men who were upon the face of the earth. And Yehovah spoke suddenly to Moses, and to Aaron, and to Miriam, Come out all of you 3 to the tabernacle of the congregation. And all 3 came out. And Yehovah came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came out. And he said, Hear now my words, if there is a prophet among you, I Yehovah will make myself known to him in a vision, and will speak to him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even clearly, and not in dark speeches, and he shall look at the appearance of Yehovah. Why then were you both not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of Yehovah was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and look, Miriam became leprous, white as snow, and Aaron looked upon Miriam, and look, she was leprous. And Aaron said to Moses, Please, my lord, now, do not lay the sin upon us, which we have done foolishly, and which we have sinned. Do not let her be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried to Yehovah, saying, Heal her now, O God, now. And Yehovah said to Moses, If her father had spat in her face, should she not be ashamed for 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp for 7 days, and after that let her be received in again. And Miriam was shut out from the camp for 7 days, and the people did not journey till Miriam was brought in again. And afterwards the people moved from Hazeroth, and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, You, send men, that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give to the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall you all send a man, every one a ruler among them. And Moses by the commandment of Yehovah sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were heads of the children of Israel. And these were their names: of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua the son of Zachar. Of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat the son of Hori. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh. Of the tribe of Issachar, Igal the son of Joseph. Of the tribe of Ephraim, Oshai the son of Nun. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti the son of Raphu. Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel the son of Sodi. Of the tribe of Joseph, namely, of the tribe of Manasseh, Guddi the son of Susa. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel the son of Gemali. Of the tribe of Asher, Sthuar the son of Michael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabai the son of Vophsi. Of the tribe of Gad, Joel the son of Machi. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Oshai the son of Nun Yehoshua. And Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, You, get up this way southward, and go up into the mountain. And see what the land is, and the people that dwell in it, whether they are strong or weak, few or many. And what the land is that they dwell in, whether it is good or bad, and what cities there are that they dwell in, whether in tents, or in strongholds. And what the land is, whether it is fat or lean, whether there is wood in it, or not. And all of you be of good courage, and bring of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up, and searched the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rehob, as men come to Hamath. And they ascended by the south, and came to Hebron, where Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmah, the children of Anak, were. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. And they came to the brook of Eshcol, and cut down from there a branch with 1 cluster of grapes, and they carried it between 2 upon a staff, and they brought of the pomegranates, and of the figs. The place was called the brook Eshcol, because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from there. And after 40 days they returned from searching the land. And they went and came to Moses, and to Aaron, and to all the congregation of the children of Israel, to the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word to them, and to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him, and said, We came to the land where you sent us, and surely it flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless the people are strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled, and very great, and also we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites, dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb silenced the people before Moses, and said, Let us go up at once, and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched to the children of Israel, saying, The land, through which we have gone to search, it is a land that eats up the inhabitants on it, and all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. And all the congregation lifted up their voice, and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said to them, If only we had died in the land of Egypt. If only we had died in this wilderness. And why has Yehovah brought us to this land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Was it not better for us to return into Egypt? And they said one to another, Let us make a head person, and let us return into Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, tore their clothes. And they spoke to all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land, which we passed through to search it, is an exceedingly good land. If Yehovah delights in us, then he will bring us into this land, and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel all of you against Yehovah, neither fear all of you the people of the land, for they are bread for us, their defense is departed from them, and Yehovah is with us, do not fear them. But all the congregation said, stone them with stones. And the glory of Yehovah appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. And Yehovah said to Moses, how long will this people provoke me? And how long will it be before they believe me, for all the signs which I have shown among them? I will strike them with the pestilence, and disinherit them, and will make of you a greater nation and mightier than they. And Moses said to Yehovah, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for you brought up this people in your might from among them. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that you Yehovah are among this people, that you Yehovah are seen face to face, and that your cloud stands over them, and that you go before them, by daytime in a pillar of a cloud, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now if you shall kill all these people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of you will speak, saying, because Yehovah was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore to them, therefore he has killed them in the wilderness. And now, let the power of my Lord be great, according as you have spoken, saying, Yehovah is long-suffering, and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. Pardon, now, the iniquity of this people according to the greatness of your mercy, and as you have forgiven this people, from Egypt even until now. And Yehovah said, I have pardoned according to your word. But as truly as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of Yehovah. Because all those men which have seen my glory, and my miracles, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have tempted me now these 10 times, and have not listened to my voice. Surely they shall not see the land which I swore to their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoked me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and has followed me fully, him will I bring into the land where he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwelt in the valley. Tomorrow, you turn, and get yourselves into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation, which murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Say to them, as truly as I live, says Yehovah, as you all have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upwards, which have murmured against me. But all of you shall not come into the land, concerning which I swore to make you dwell in it, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. But your little ones, which you all said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which you all have despised. But as for you, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness. And your children shall wander in the wilderness for 40 years, and bear your prostitution, until your carcasses are wasted in the wilderness. After the number of the days in which you all searched the land, even for 40 days, each day for a year, shall you all bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and you all shall know my opposition. I Yehovah have said, I will surely do it to all this evil congregation, that are gathered together against me, in this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. And the men, which Moses sent to search the land, who returned, and made all the congregation murmur against him, by bringing up a slander upon the land. Even those men that brought up the evil report upon the land, died by the plague before Yehovah. But Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of the men that went to search the land, lived. And Moses told these sayings to all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. And they rose up early in the morning, and climbed up to the top of the mountain, saying, Look, we are here, and will go up to the place which Yehovah has promised, for we have sinned. And Moses said, Why now do you all transgress the commandment of Yehovah? But it shall not prosper. Do not go up, for Yehovah is not among you, that you all are not struck down before your enemies. For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and you all shall fall by the sword, because you all have turned away from Yehovah, therefore Yehovah will not be with you. But they presumed to go up to the hilltop, nevertheless the ark of the covenant of Yehovah, and Moses, did not depart out of the camp. Then the Amalekites came down, and the Canaanites which dwelt in that hill, and struck them, and beat them down, even to Hormah. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you all have come into the land of your habitations, which I give to you, and will make an offering by fire to Yehovah, a burnt offering, or a sacrifice in performing a vow, or in a freewill offering, or in your appointed feasts, to make a sweet savor to Yehovah, of the herd, or of the flock. Then shall he that offers his offering to Yehovah bring a meal offering of a 10th deal of flour mingled with the 4th part of a hin of oil. And the 4th part of a hin of wine for a drink offering shall you prepare with the burnt offering or sacrifice, for 1 lamb. Or for a ram, you shall prepare for a meal offering 2 tenth deals of flour mingled with the 3rd part of a hin of oil. And for a drink offering you shall offer the 3rd part of a hin of wine, for a sweet savor to Yehovah. And when you prepare a bullock for a burnt offering, or for a sacrifice in performing a vow, or peace offerings to Yehovah, then shall he bring with the bullock a meal offering of 3 tenth deals of flour mingled with half a hin of oil. And you shall bring for a drink offering half a hin of wine, for an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor to Yehovah. So shall it be done for 1 bullock, or for 1 ram, or for a lamb, or a kid. According to the number that you all shall prepare, so shall you all do to everyone according to their number. All that are born of the country shall do these things like this, in offering an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor to Yehovah. And if a stranger resides with you, or whoever is among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor to Yehovah, as you all do, so he shall do. 1 ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation, and also for the stranger that resides with you, an ordinance always in your generations, as you all are, so shall the stranger be before Yehovah. 1 law and 1 judgment shall be for you, and for the stranger that resides with you. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you all come into the land where I am bringing you. Then it shall be, that, when you all eat of the bread of the land, you all shall offer up a heave offering to Yehovah. You all shall offer up a cake of the first of your dough for a heave offering, as you all do the heave offering of the threshing floor, so shall you all heave it. Of the first of your dough you all shall give to Yehovah a heave offering in your generations. And if you all have gone astray, and not observed all these commandments, which Yehovah has spoken to Moses, even all that Yehovah has commanded you by the hand of Moses, from the day that Yehovah commanded Moses, and afterwards among your generations, then it shall be, if it is committed by ignorance without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall offer 1 young bullock for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor to Yehovah, with his meal offering, and his drink offering, according to the judgment, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it is ignorance, and they shall bring their offering, a sacrifice made by fire to Yehovah, and their sin offering before Yehovah, for their ignorance. And it shall be forgiven all the congregation of the children of Israel, and the stranger that resides among them, seeing all the people were in ignorance. And if any soul sin through ignorance, then he shall bring a she-goat of the first year for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sins ignorantly, when they sin by ignorance before Yehovah, to make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. You all shall have 1 law for those that sin through ignorance, both for them that are born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that resides among them. But the soul that acts with a high hand, whether they be born in the land, or a stranger, the same reproaches Yehovah, and that soul shall be cut off from among their people. Because they have despised the word of Yehovah, and have broken his commandment, that soul shall utterly be cut off, their iniquity shall be upon him. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks on the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron, and to all the congregation. And they put him in under guard, because it was not declared what should be done to him. And Yehovah said to Moses, The man shall be surely put to death, all the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp. And all the congregation brought him outside the camp, and stoned him with stones, and he died, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a cord of blue. And it shall be to you a fringe, that you all may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of Yehovah, and do them, and that you all do not seek after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you all used to go prostituting. That you all may remember, and do all my commandments, and be holy to your God. I am Yehovah your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. I am Yehovah your God. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohat, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. And they rose up before Moses, with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said to them, You both take too much upon yourselves, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and Yehovah is among them. Why then do you both lift yourselves up above the congregation of Yehovah? And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spoke to Korah and to all his company, saying, Tomorrow Yehovah will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near to him, even him whom he has chosen will he cause to come near to him. This do, take yourselves censers, Korah, and all your company. And put fire in it, and tomorrow put incense in them before Yehovah, and it shall be that the man whom Yehovah does choose, he shall be holy. You all take too much upon yourselves, all you sons of Levi. And Moses said to Korah, Hear, now, all of you sons of Levi. Is it a small thing to you, that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself to do the service of the tabernacle of Yehovah, and to stand before the congregation to minister to them? And he has brought you near to him, and all your relatives the sons of Levi with you, and you also seek the priesthood. For which cause both you and all your company are gathered together against Yehovah, and what is Aaron, that you all murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. Is it a small thing that you have brought us up out of a land that flows with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except you make yourself also a prince over us? Also you have not brought us into a land that flows with milk and honey, or given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. And Moses was very angry, and said to Yehovah, You do not respect their offering. I have not taken one male donkey from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said to Korah, Come, you and all your company before Yehovah, you, and they, and Aaron, tomorrow. And every man take his censer, and put incense in them, and bring all of you before Yehovah every man his censer, 250 censers, you also, and Aaron, each of you his censer. And every man took his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense on it, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of Yehovah appeared to all the congregation. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces, and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and will you be angry with all the congregation? And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the congregation, saying, Get up from around the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Depart, now, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, or else you all will be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out, and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, This you all shall know that Yehovah has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yehovah has not sent me. But if Yehovah makes a new thing, and the earth opens its mouth, and swallows them up, with all that they have, and they go down quickly into the pit, then you all shall understand that these men have provoked Yehovah. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground split open that was under them. And the earth opened its mouth, and swallowed them up, and their households, and all the men that were for Korah, and all their goods. They, and all that they had, went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, Or else the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from Yehovah, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, that he takes up the censers out of the burning, and you shall scatter the fire over there, for they are sanctified. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them into broad plates for a covering of the altar, for they offered them before Yehovah, therefore they are sanctified, and they shall be assigned to the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the bronze censers, where they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial to the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, comes near to offer incense before Yehovah, that he is not as Korah, and as his company, as Yehovah said to him by the hand of Moses. But the next day all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, You both have killed the people of Yehovah. And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked towards the tabernacle of the congregation, and look, the cloud covered it, and the glory of Yehovah appeared. And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Get yourselves up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. And Moses said to Aaron, Take a censer, and put fire in it from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly to the congregation, and make an atonement for them, for there is wrath gone out from Yehovah, the plague has begun. And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the middle of the congregation, and look, the plague had begun among the people, and he put on incense, and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague stopped. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, beside them that died about the words of Korah. And Aaron returned to Moses to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague stopped. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and take of every one of them a rod according to the house of their fathers, of all their princes according to the house of their fathers 12 rods, you write every man's name upon his rod. And you shall write Aaron's name upon the rod of Levi, for 1 rod shall be for the head of the house of their fathers. And you shall lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation before the testimony, where I will meet with you. And it shall come to pass, that the man's rod, whom I shall choose, shall blossom, and I will make the murmurings of the children of Israel to cease from me, by which they murmur against you. And Moses spoke to the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod each, for each prince 1, according to their fathers' houses, even 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron was among their rods. And Moses laid up the rods before Yehovah in the tabernacle of witness. And it came to pass, that on the next day Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and look, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and brought out buds, and bloomed blossoms, and yielded almonds. And Moses brought out all the rods from before Yehovah to all the children of Israel, and they looked, and took every man his rod. And Yehovah said to Moses, Bring Aaron's rod again before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the rebels, and you shall completely take away their murmurings from me, that they do not die. And Moses did so, as Yehovah commanded him, so he did. And the children of Israel spoke to Moses, saying, Look, we die, we perish, we all perish. Whoever comes near to the tabernacle of Yehovah shall die, shall we be consumed to die? And Yehovah said to Aaron, You and your sons and your father's house with you shall bear the iniquity of the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you shall bear the iniquity of your priesthood. And bring your brothers also of the tribe of Levi, the tribe of your father with you, that they may be joined to you, and serve you, but you and your sons with you shall serve before the tabernacle of witness. And they shall keep your charge, and the charge of all the tabernacle, only they shall not come near the vessels of the sanctuary and the altar, that neither they, nor you all also, die. And they shall be joined to you, and keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, for all the service of the tabernacle, and a stranger shall not come near to you. And you all shall keep the charge of the sanctuary, and the charge of the altar, that there be no wrath any more upon the children of Israel. And look, I have taken your relatives the Levites from among the children of Israel, to you they are given as a gift for Yehovah, to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Therefore you and your sons with you shall keep your priest's office for everything of the altar, and within the veil, and you all shall serve. I have given your priest's office to you as a service of gift, and the stranger that comes near shall be put to death. And Yehovah spoke to Aaron, Look, I also have given you the charge of my heave offerings of all the sanctified things of the children of Israel, to you have I given them by reason of the anointing, and to your sons, by an ordinance always. This shall be yours of the most holy things, reserved from the fire, every offering of theirs, every meal offering of theirs, and every sin offering of theirs, and every trespass offering of theirs, which they shall return to me, shall be most holy for you and for your sons. You shall eat it in the most holy place, every male shall eat it, it shall be holy to you. And this is yours, the heave offering of their gift, with all the wave offerings of the children of Israel, I have given them to you, and to your sons and to your daughters with you, by a statute always, everyone that is clean in your house shall eat of it. All the best of the oil, and all the best of the wine, and of the wheat, the first fruits of them which they shall offer to Yehovah, them have I given you. And whatever is first ripe in the land, which they shall bring to Yehovah, shall be yours, everyone that is clean in your house shall eat of it. Everything devoted in Israel shall be yours. Everything that opens the womb in all flesh, which they bring to Yehovah, whether it is of men or beasts, shall be yours. Nevertheless the firstborn of man shall you surely redeem, and the firstborn of unclean beasts shall you redeem. And those that are to be redeemed from a month old shall you redeem, according to your estimation, for the money of 5 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, which is 20 gerahs. But the firstling of a cow, or the firstling of a sheep, or the firstling of a goat, you shall not redeem, they are holy, you shall sprinkle their blood upon the altar, and shall burn their fat for an offering made by fire, for a sweet savor to Yehovah. And the flesh of them shall be yours, as the wave breast and as the right shoulder are yours. All the heave offerings of the holy things, which the children of Israel offer to Yehovah, have I given you, and your sons and your daughters with you, by a statute always, it is a covenant of salt always before Yehovah to you and to your seed with you. And Yehovah spoke to Aaron, you shall have no inheritance in their land, neither shall you have any part among them, I am your part and your inheritance among the children of Israel. And look, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance, for their service which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Neither must the children of Israel again come near the tabernacle of the congregation, or else they bear sin, and die. But the Levites shall do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall bear their iniquity. It shall be a statute always throughout your generations, that among the children of Israel they have no inheritance. But the tithes of the children of Israel, which they offer as a heave offering to Yehovah, I have given to the Levites to inherit, therefore I have said to them, among the children of Israel they shall have no inheritance. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, So speak to the Levites, and say to them, when you all take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then you all shall offer up a heave offering of it for Yehovah, even a 10th part of the tithe. And this your heave offering shall be accounted to you, as though it were the corn of the threshing floor, and as the fullness of the winepress. So you all also shall offer a heave offering to Yehovah of all your tithes, which you all receive of the children of Israel, and you all shall give on it Yehovah's heave offering to Aaron the priest. Out of all your gifts you all shall offer every heave offering of Yehovah, of all the best on it, even the sacred part on it out of it. Therefore you shall say to them, when you all have heaved the best on it from it, then it shall be counted to the Levites as the increase of the threshing floor, and as the increase of the winepress. And you all shall eat it in every place, you all and your households, for it is your wages for your service in the tabernacle of the congregation. And you all shall bear no sin by reason of it, when you all have heaped from it the best of it, neither shall you all pollute the holy things of the children of Israel, or else you all die. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, This is the ordinance of the law which Yehovah has commanded, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they bring you a red heifer without spot, which has no blemish, and which a yoke has never come upon. And you all shall give her to Eleazar the priest, that he may bring her out outside the camp, and one shall kill her before his face. And Eleazar the priest shall take of her blood with his finger, and sprinkle of her blood directly before the tabernacle of the congregation for 7 times. And one shall burn the heifer in his sight, her skin, and her flesh, and her blood, with her dung, shall he burn. And the priest shall take cedar wood, and hyssop, and scarlet, and cast it into the middle of the burning of the heifer. Then the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in water, and afterwards he shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until the evening. And he that burns her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and shall be unclean until the evening. And a man that is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and lay them up outside the camp in a clean place, and it shall be kept for the congregation of the children of Israel for a water of separation, it is a purification for sin. And he that gathers the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the evening, and it shall be to the children of Israel, and to the stranger that resides among them, for a statute always. He that touches the dead body of any man shall be unclean for 7 days. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean, but if he does not purify himself the 3rd day, then on the 7th day he shall not be clean. Whoever touches the dead body of any man that is dead, and does not purify himself, defiles the tabernacle of Yehovah, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel, because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him. He shall be unclean, his uncleanness is still upon him. This is the law: when a man dies in a tent, all that come into the tent, and all that is in the tent, shall be unclean for 7 days. And every open vessel, which has no covering bound upon it, is unclean. And whoever touches one that is killed with a sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean for 7 days. And for an unclean person they shall take of the ashes of the burnt heifer of purification for sin, and running water shall be put over it into a vessel. And a clean person shall take hyssop, and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the people that were there, and upon him that touched a bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave. And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself, and wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at evening. But the man that shall be unclean, and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation, because he has defiled the sanctuary of Yehovah, the water of separation has not been sprinkled upon him, he is unclean. And it shall be a statute always to them, that he that sprinkles the water of separation shall wash his clothes, and he that touch the water of separation shall be unclean until evening. And whatever the unclean person touches shall be unclean, and the soul that touch it shall be unclean until evening. Then the children of Israel came, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the 1st month, and the people dwelt in Kadesh, and Miriam died there, and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And the people contended with Moses, and spoke, saying, "Oh, that we had died when our brothers died before Yehovah! And why have you both brought up the congregation of Yehovah into this wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? And why have you both made us to come up out of Egypt, to bring us into this evil place? It is no place of seed, or of figs, or of vines, or of pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink." And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of Yehovah appeared to them. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the rod, and gather the assembly together to you, you and Aaron your brother, and speak to the rock before their eyes, and it shall give out its water, and you shall bring out to them water out of the rock, so you shall give the congregation and their beasts drink." And Moses took the rod from before Yehovah, as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock, and he said to them, "Hear now, all of you rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock?" And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he struck the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and Aaron, "Because you both did not believe me, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you both shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel contended with Yehovah, and he was sanctified in them." And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh to the king of Edom, "So says your brother Israel, you know all the trouble that has found us. How our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians did evil to us, and our fathers. And when we cried to Yehovah, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and has brought us out outside of Egypt, and look, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of your border. Let us pass, now, through your country, we will not pass through the fields, or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells, we will go by the king's highway, we will not turn to the right hand or to the left, until we have passed your borders." And Edom said to him, "You shall not pass by me, or else I will come out against you with the sword." And the children of Israel said to him, "We will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of your water, then I will pay for it, I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet." And he said, "You shall not go through." And Edom came out against him with many people, and with a strong hand. So Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border, so Israel turned away from him. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh, and came to Mount Hor. And Yehovah spoke to Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor, by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered to his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given to the children of Israel, because you both rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up to Mount Hor. And strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered to his people, and shall die there. And Moses did as Yehovah commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron died there in the top of the mountain, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron for 30 days, even all the house of Israel. And when King Arad the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard that Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel, and took some of them prisoners. And Israel vowed a vow to Yehovah, and said, If you will indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And Yehovah listened to the voice of Israel, and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities, and he called the name of the place Hormah. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea, to surround the land of Edom, and the soul of the people was very much discouraged because of the way. And the people spoke against God, and against Moses, Why have you both brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loathes this light bread. And Yehovah sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses, and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against Yehovah, and against you. Pray to Yehovah, that he takes away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And Yehovah said to Moses, Make yourself a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass, that everyone that is bitten, when he looks upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole, and it came to pass, that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he looked at the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel moved forward, and pitched in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth, and pitched at Ijebarim, in the wilderness which is before Moab, towards the sun rising. From there they removed, and pitched in the valley of Zard. From there they removed, and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that comes out of the coasts of the Amorites, for Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Therefore it is said in the book of the wars of Yehovah, what he did in the Red Sea, and in the brooks of Arnon. And at the stream of the brooks that go down to the dwelling of Ar, and lies upon the border of Moab. And from there they went to Beer, that is the well where Yehovah spoke to Moses, Gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then Israel sang this song, Spring up, O well, sing all of you to it. The princes dug the well, the nobles of the people dug it, by the direction of the lawgiver, with their staves. And from the wilderness they went to Mattanah. And from Mattanah to Nahaleel, and from Nahaleel to Bamoth. And from Bamoth in the valley, that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looked towards Shimon. And Israel sent messengers to Sihon king of the Amorites, saying, Let me pass through your land, we will not turn into the fields, or into the vineyards, we will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway, until we are past your borders. And Sihon would not let Israel pass through his border, but Sihon gathered all his people together, and went out against Israel into the wilderness, and he came to Hahaz, and fought against Israel. And Israel struck him with the edge of the sword, and possessed his land from Arnon to Jabbok, even to the children of Ammon, for the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all these cities, and Israel dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon and in all the villages on it. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and taken all his land out of his hand, even to Arnon. Wherefore they that speak in Proverbs say, Come into Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and prepared. For there is a fire gone out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon, it has consumed Ar of Moab, and the lords of the high places of Arnon. Woe to you, Moab! You are undone, O people of Chemosh, he has given his sons that escaped, and his daughters, into captivity to Sihon king of the Amorites. We have shot at them, Heshbon is perished even to Dibon, and we have laid them waste even to Napha, which reaches to Medba. So Israel dwelt in the land of the Amorites. And Moses sent to spy out Jazer, and they took the villages on it, and drove out the Amorites that were there. And they turned and went up by the way of Bashan, and Og the king of Bashan went out against them, he and all his people, to the battle at Edrei. And Yehovah said to Moses, Do not fear him, for I have delivered him into your hand, and all his people, and his land, and you shall do to him as you did to Sihon king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Heshbon. So they struck him, and his sons, and all his people, until there was none left of him alive, and they possessed his land. And the children of Israel moved forward, and pitched in the plains of Moab on the opposed side of Jordan by Jericho. And Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people, because they were many, and Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, Now shall this company lick up all that are round about us, as the ox licks up the grass of the field. And Balak the son of Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time. He therefore sent messengers to Balaam the son of Beor to Pethor, which is by the river of the land of the children of his people, to call him, saying, Look, there is a people come out from Egypt, look, they cover the face of the earth, and they remain over against me. Come now therefore, now, curse this people for me, for they are too mighty for me, perhaps I shall prevail, that we may strike them, and that I may drive them out of the land, for I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand, and they came to Balaam, and spoke to him the words of Balak. And he said to them, Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as Yehovah shall speak to me. And the princes of Moab dwelt with Balaam. And God came to Balaam, and said, What men are these with you? And Balaam said to God, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent to me, saying, Look, there is a people come out of Egypt, which cover the face of the earth, come now, curse them for me, perhaps I shall be able to overcome them, and drive them out. And God said to Balaam, You shall not go with them, you shall not curse the people, for they are blessed. And Balaam rose up in the morning, and said to the princes of Balak, Get yourselves into your land, for Yehovah refuses to let me leave to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose up, and they went to Balak, and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. And Balak sent yet again princes, more, and more honorable than they. And they came to Balaam, and said to him, So says Balak the son of Zippor, Let nothing, now, hinder you from coming to me. For I will promote you to very great honor, and I will do whatever you say to me, come therefore, now, curse for me this people. And Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of Yehovah my God, to do less or more. Now therefore, now, you all also remain here this night, that I may know what Yehovah will say to me more. And God came to Balaam at night, and said to him, If the men come to call you, rise up, and go with them, but surely the word which I shall say to you, that shall you do. And Balaam rose up in the morning, and saddled his she-donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of Yehovah stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his she-donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. And the she-donkey saw the angel of Yehovah standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and the she-donkey turned aside out of the way, and went into the field, and Balaam struck the she-donkey, to turn her into the way. But the angel of Yehovah stood in a path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side, and a wall on that side. And when the she-donkey saw the angel of Yehovah, she thrust herself to the wall, and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he struck her again. And the angel of Yehovah went further, and stood in a narrow place, where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the she-donkey saw the angel of Yehovah, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the she-donkey with a staff. And Yehovah opened the mouth of the she-donkey, and she said to Balaam, What have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the she-donkey, Because you have mocked me, oh that there were a sword in my hand, for I would kill you now. And the she-donkey said to Balaam, Am I not your she-donkey, upon which you have ridden ever since I was yours to this day? Was I ever known to do so to you? And he said, No. Then Yehovah opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of Yehovah standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head, and fell flat on his face. And the angel of Yehovah said to him, Why have you struck your she-donkey these 3 times? Look, I went out to withstand you, because your way is perverse before me. And the she-donkey saw me, and turned from me these 3 times, unless she had turned from me, surely now also I would have killed you, and saved her alive. And Balaam said to the angel of Yehovah, I have sinned, for I did not know that you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease you, I will take myself back again. And the angel of Yehovah said to Balaam, Go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak to you, that you shall speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam had come, he went out to meet him to a city of Moab, which is in the border of Arnon, which is in the uttermost coast. And Balak said to Balaam, Did I not earnestly send to you to call you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able indeed to promote you to honor? And Balaam said to Balak, Look, I have come to you, have I now any power at all to say anything? The word that God puts in my mouth, that shall I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kirjath-Huzoth. And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and sent to Balaam, and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the next day, that Balak took Balaam, and brought him up into the high places of Baal, that there he might see the outermost part of the people. And Balaam said to Balak, Here, build me 7 altars, and prepare for me here 7 oxen and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bullock and a ram. And Balaam said to Balak, Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go, perhaps Yehovah will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I will tell you. And he went to a high place. And God met Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I have offered upon every altar a bullock and a ram. And Yehovah put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, Return to Balak, and so you shall speak. And he returned to him, and, look, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he, and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his parable, and said, Balak the king of Moab has brought me from Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, Come, curse for me Jacob, and come, defy Israel. How shall I curse, whom God has not cursed? Or how shall I defy, whom Yehovah has not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I looked at him. Look, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be counted among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, and the number of the 4th part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have altogether blessed them. And he answered and said, Must I not be careful to speak that which Yehovah has put in my mouth? And Balak said to him, Come, now, with me to another place, from where you may see them, you shall see the extreme end part of them, and shall not see them all, and curse them for me from there. And he brought him into the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. And he said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offering, while I meet Yehovah over there. And Yehovah met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Go again to Balak, and say this. And when he came to him, look, he stood by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said to him, What has Yehovah spoken? And he took up his parable, and said, Rise up, Balak, and hear, listen to me, you son of Zippor. God is not a man, that he should lie, neither the son of man, that he should repent, has he said, and shall he not do it? Or has he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Look, I have received commandment to bless, and he has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. He has not seen iniquity in Jacob, neither has he seen perverseness in Israel. Yehovah his God is with him, and the shout of a king is among them. God brought them out of Egypt, he has as it were the strength of a rhinoceros. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, What has God done? Look, the people shall rise up as a great lion, and lift himself up as a young lion, he shall not lie down until he eats of the prey, and drinks the blood of the slain. And Balak said to Balaam, Neither curse them at all, or bless them at all. But Balaam answered and said to Balak, Did I not tell you, saying, All that Yehovah speaks, that I must do? And Balak said to Balaam, Come, now, I will bring you to another place, perhaps it will please God that you may curse for me them from there. And Balak brought Balaam to the top of Peor, that looked towards Shimon. And Balaam said to Balak, Build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yehovah to bless Israel, he did not go, as at other times, to seek for enchantments, but he set his face towards the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel abiding in his tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came upon him. And he took up his parable, and said, Balaam the son of Beor has said, and the man whose eyes are opened has said. He has said, which heard the words of God, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. How good are your tents, O Jacob, and your tabernacles, O Israel! As the valleys are they spread out, as gardens by the river's side, as the trees of aloes which Yehovah has planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. He shall pour the water out of his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. God brought him out outside of Egypt, he has as it were the strength of a rhinoceros, he shall eat up the nations his enemies, and shall break their bones, and pierce them through with his arrows. He knelt, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesses you, and cursed is he that curses you. And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam, and he struck his hands together, and Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and look, you have altogether blessed them these 3 times. Therefore you flee now to your place, I thought to promote you to great honor, but, look, Yehovah has kept you back from honor. And Balaam said to Balak, Did I not speak to your messengers which you sent to me, saying, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the commandment of Yehovah, to do either good or bad of my own mind, but what Yehovah says, that will I speak. And now, look, I go to my people, come therefore, and I will advertise you what this people shall do to your people in the latter days. And he took up his parable, and said, Balaam the son of Beor has said, and the man whose eyes are open has said. He has said, which heard the words of God, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. I shall see him, but not now, I shall look at him, but not near, there shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall strike the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession, Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remains of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable, and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And he looked on the Kenites, and took up his parable, and said, Strong is your dwelling place, and you put your nest in a rock. Nevertheless the Kenite shall be wasted, until Asshur shall carry you away captive. And he took up his parable, and said, Woe, who shall live when God does this? And ships shall come from the coast of Chittim, and shall afflict Asshur, and shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever. And Balaam rose up, and went and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way. And Israel dwelt in Shittim, and the people began to fornicate with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people did eat, and bowed down to their gods. And Israel joined himself to Baal Peor, and the anger of Yehovah was kindled against Israel. And Yehovah said to Moses, Take all the heads of the people, and hang them up before Yehovah against the sun, that the fierce anger of Yehovah may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said to the judges of Israel, All of you kill everyone his men that were joined to Baal Peor. And, look, one of the children of Israel came and brought to his brothers a woman of Midian in the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation, and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel, and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stopped from the children of Israel. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while he was zealous for my sake among them, that I did not consume the children of Israel in my jealousy. Therefore say, Look, I give to him my covenant of peace. And he shall have it, and his seed after him, even the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God, and made an atonement for the children of Israel. Now the name of the Israelite that was killed, even that was killed with the woman of Midian, was Zimri, the son of Salu, a prince of a head house among the Simeonites. And the name of the woman of Midian, that was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur, he was head over a people, and of a head house in Midian. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Bind up the Midianites, and strike them. For they bound you up with their cunning, where they have deceived you in the acts of Peor, and in the acts of Cosbi, the daughter of a prince of Midian, their sister, who was killed in the day of the plague for Peor's sake. And it came to pass after the plague, that Yehovah spoke to Moses and to Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying, Take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, from 20 years old and upwards, throughout their father's house, all that are able to go to war in Israel. And Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho, saying, Take the sum of the people, from 20 years old and upwards, as Yehovah commanded Moses and the children of Israel, which went out outside of the land of Egypt. Reuben, the eldest son of Israel, the children of Reuben, Hanok, of whom comes the family of the Hanochites, of Palu, the family of the Paluites. Of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites, and they that were numbered of them were 43,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab. And the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This is that Dathan and Abiram, which were famous in the congregation, who struggled against Moses and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they struggled against Yehovah. And the earth opened its mouth, and swallowed them up together with Korah, when that company died, when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. However the children of Korah did not die. The sons of Simeon after their families, of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites, of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites, of Jachin, the family of the Jachinites. Of Zerah, the family of the Zaraites, of Shaul, the family of the Shaulites. These are the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. The children of Gad after their families, of Zephon, the family of the Zephonites, of Haggai, the family of the Haggites, of Shani, the family of the Shunites. Of Ajni, the family of the Ajnites, of Eri, the family of the Erites. Of Arad, the family of the Aradites, of Areli, the family of the Arelites. These are the families of the children of Gad according to those that were numbered of them, 40,500. The sons of Judah were Er and Onan, and Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah after their families were, of Shelah, the family of the Shelonites, of Phareh, the family of the Pharzites, of Zerah, the family of the Zaraites. And the sons of Phareh were, of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the family of the Hamulites. These are the families of Judah according to those that were numbered of them, 76,500. Of the sons of Issachar after their families, of Tola, the family of the Tolaites, of Puah, the family of the Punites. Of Jashub, the family of the Jashubites, of Shimron, the family of the Shimronites. These are the families of Issachar according to those that were numbered of them, 64,300. Of the sons of Zebulun after their families, of Seard, the family of the Sardites, of Elon, the family of the Elonites, of Yaleel, the family of the Yaleelites. These are the families of the Zebulunites according to those that were numbered of them, 60,500. The sons of Joseph after their families were Manasseh and Ephraim. Of the sons of Manasseh, of Machir, the family of the Machirites, and Machir had Gilead, of Gilead come the family of the Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead, of Jezer, the family of the Jezrites, of Helek, the family of the Helkites. And of Asriel, the family of the Asrielites, and of Shechem, the family of the Shechemites. And of Shemitah, the family of the Shemidates, and of Heper, the family of the Heperites. And Zelophehad the son of Heper had no sons, but daughters, and the names of the daughters of Zelophehad were Mahlah, and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These are the families of Manasseh, and those that were numbered of them, 52,700. These are the sons of Ephraim after their families, of Shuthelah, the family of the Shuthalites, of Becher, the family of the Bachrites, of Tahan, the family of the Tahanites. And these are the sons of Shuthelah, of Iran, the family of the Iranites. These are the families of the sons of Ephraim according to those that were numbered of them, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph after their families. The sons of Benjamin after their families, of Bela, the family of the Belaites, of Ashbel, the family of the Ashbelites, of Ahiram, the family of the Ahiramites. Of Shupham, the family of the Shuphamites, of Hupham, the family of the Huphamites. And the sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman, of Ard, the family of the Ardites, and of Naaman, the family of the Naamites. These are the sons of Benjamin after their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,600. These are the sons of Dan after their families, of Shuham, the family of the Shuhamites. These are the families of Dan after their families. All the families of the Shuhamites, according to those that were numbered of them, were 64,400. Of the children of Asher after their families, of Jimnah, the family of the Jimnites, of Jeshui, the family of the Jesuits, of Beriah, the family of the Beriites. Of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the family of the Heberites, of Malchiel, the family of the Malchielites. And the name of the daughter of Asher was Sarah. These are the families of the sons of Asher according to those that were numbered of them, who were 53,400. Of the sons of Naphtali after their families, of Yaziel, the family of the Yazelites, of Guni, the family of the Gunites. Of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites, of Shillem, the family of the Shillemites. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families, and they that were numbered of them were 45,400. This was the number of the children of Israel, 601,730. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, To these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. To many you shall give the more inheritance, and to few you shall give the less inheritance, to everyone shall his inheritance be given according to those that were numbered of him. But the land shall be divided by lot, they shall inherit it according to the names of the tribes of their fathers. According to the lot shall the possession on it be divided between many and few. And these are they that were numbered of the Levites after their families, of Gershon, the family of the Gershonites, of Kohath, the family of the Kohathites, of Merari, the family of the Merarites. These are the families of the Levites, the family of the Libnites, the family of the Hebronites, the family of the Malites, the family of the Mushites, the family of the Korathites. And Kohath had Amram. And the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, whom her mother bore to Levi in Egypt, and she bore to Amram Aaron and Moses, and Miriam their sister. And to Aaron was born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died, when they offered strange fire before Yehovah. And those that were numbered of them were 23,000, all males from a month old and upwards, for they were not numbered among the children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the children of Israel. These are they that were numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest, who numbered the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho. But among these there was not a man of them whom Moses and Aaron the priest numbered, when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For Yehovah had said of them, They shall surely die in the wilderness. And there was not a man left of them, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Heper, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh the son of Joseph, and these are the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses, and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes and all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against Yehovah in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin, and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family, because he has no son? Give to us therefore a possession among the brothers of our father. And Moses brought their cause before Yehovah. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak right, you shall surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brothers, and you shall cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And you shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, If a man dies, and has no son, then you all shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then you all shall give his inheritance to his brothers. And if he has no brothers, then you all shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then you all shall give his inheritance to his blood relation that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it, and it shall be to the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And Yehovah said to Moses, Get yourself up into this Mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother was gathered. For you both rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin, in the strife of the congregation, to sanctify me at the water before their eyes, that is the water of Meribah in Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. And Moses spoke to Yehovah, saying, Let Yehovah, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation, which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of Yehovah is not like sheep who have no shepherd. And Yehovah said to Moses, Take yourself Joshua the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand upon him. And set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a command in their sight. And you shall put some of your glory upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim before Yehovah. At his word shall they go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he, and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation. And Moses did as Yehovah commanded him, and he took Joshua, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation. And he laid his hands upon him, and gave him a command, as Yehovah commanded by the hand of Moses. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say to them, My offering, and my bread for my sacrifices made by fire, for a sweet savor to me, shall you all observe to offer to me in their due season. And you shall say to them, This is the offering made by fire which you all shall offer to Yehovah, 2 lambs of the first year without spot day by day, for a continual burnt offering. The one lamb shall you offer in the morning, and the other lamb shall you offer at evening. And a 10th part of an ephah of flour for a meal offering, mingled with the 4th part of a hin of beaten oil. It is a continual burnt offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire to Yehovah. And the drink offering on it shall be the 4th part of a hin for the one lamb. In the holy place shall you cause the strong wine to be poured to Yehovah for a drink offering. And the other lamb shall you offer at evening, as the meal offering of the morning, and as the drink offering on it, you shall offer it, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor to Yehovah. And on the Sabbath day 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2/10 parts of flour for a meal offering, mingled with oil, and the drink offering on it. This is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, beside the continual burnt offering, and his drink offering. And in the beginnings of your months you all shall offer a burnt offering to Yehovah, 2 young bullocks, and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot. And 3/10 parts of flour for a meal offering, mingled with oil, for 1 bullock, and 2/10 parts of flour for a meal offering, mingled with oil, for 1 ram. And 1/10 part of flour mingled with oil for a meal offering to 1 lamb, for a burnt offering of a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire to Yehovah. And their drink offerings shall be half a hin of wine to a bullock, and the 1/3 part of a hin to a ram, and a 4th part of a hin to a lamb. This is the burnt offering of every month throughout the months of the year. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering to Yehovah shall be offered, beside the continual burnt offering, and its drink offering. And in the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of Yehovah. And in the 15th day of this month is the feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. In the first day shall be a holy convocation, you all shall not do any laboring work in it. But you all shall offer a sacrifice made by fire for a burnt offering to Yehovah, 2 young bullocks, and 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year, they shall be to you without blemish. And their meal offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 parts shall you all offer for a bullock, and 2/10 parts for a ram. 1/10 part shall you offer for every lamb, throughout the 7 lambs. And 1 goat for a sin offering, to make an atonement for you. You all shall offer these beside the burnt offering in the morning, which is for a continual burnt offering. After these things you all shall offer daily, throughout the 7 days, the bread of the sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor to Yehovah, it shall be offered beside the continual burnt offering, and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you all shall have a holy convocation, you all shall do no laboring work. Also in the day of the first fruits, when you all bring a new meal offering to Yehovah, after your weeks are done, you all shall have a holy convocation, you all shall do no laboring work. But you all shall offer the burnt offering for a sweet savor to Yehovah, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year. And their meal offering of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 parts to 1 bullock, 2/10 parts to 1 ram, 1/10 part to 1 lamb, throughout the 7 lambs. And 1 kid of the goats, to make an atonement for you. You all shall offer them beside the continual burnt offering, and its meal offering, they shall be to you without blemish, and their drink offerings. And in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, you all shall have a holy convocation, you all shall do no laboring work, it is a day of blowing of the trumpets to you. And you all shall offer a burnt offering for a sweet savor to Yehovah, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meal offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 parts for a bullock, and 2/10 parts for a ram, and 1/10 part for 1 lamb, throughout the 7 lambs. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, to make an atonement for you. Beside the burnt offering of the month, and its meal offering, and the daily burnt offering, and its meal offering, and their drink offerings, according to their judgment, for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire to Yehovah. And you all shall have on the 10th day of this 7th month a holy convocation, and you all shall afflict your souls, you all shall not do any work in it. But you all shall offer a burnt offering to Yehovah for a sweet savor, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year, they shall be to you without blemish. And their meal offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 parts to a bullock, and 2/10 parts to 1 ram, 1/10 part for 1 lamb, throughout the 7 lambs. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the sin offering of atonement, and the continual burnt offering, and the meal offering of it, and their drink offerings. And on the 15th day of the 7th month you all shall have an holy convocation, you all shall do no laboring work, and you all shall keep a feast to Yehovah for 7 days. And you all shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor to Yehovah, 13 young bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year, they shall be without blemish. And their meal offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 parts to every bullock of the 13 bullocks, 2/10 parts to each ram of the 2 rams, and 1/10 part to each lamb of the 14 lambs. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and its drink offering. And on the 2nd day you all shall offer 12 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without spot. And their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number, according to the judgment. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and the meal offering on it, and their drink offerings. And on the 3rd day 11 bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number, according to the judgment. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and its meal offering, and its drink offering. And on the 4th day 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. Their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number, according to the judgment. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and its drink offering. And on the 5th day 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without spot. And their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number, according to the judgment. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and its food offering, and its drink offering. And on the 6th day 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their food offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number, according to the judgment. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and its drink offering. And on the 7th day 7 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number, according to the judgment. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, its meal offering, and its drink offering. On the 8th day you all shall have a solemn assembly, you all shall do no laboring work in it. But you all shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor to Yehovah, 1 bullock, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without blemish. Their meal offering and their drink offerings for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lambs, shall be according to their number, according to the judgment. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and its meal offering, and its drink offering. These things you all shall do to Yehovah in your set feasts, beside your vows, and your freewill offerings, for your burnt offerings, and for your meal offerings, and for your drink offerings, and for your peace offerings. And Moses told the children of Israel according to all that Yehovah commanded Moses. And Moses spoke to the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which Yehovah has commanded. If a man vow a vow to Yehovah, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word, he shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow to Yehovah, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hears her vow, and her bond with which she has bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond with which she has bound her soul shall stand. But if her father refuses her in the day that he hears, not any of her vows, or of her bonds with which she has bound her soul, shall stand, and Yehovah shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. And if she had at all a husband, when she vowed, or uttered something out of her lips, with which she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds with which she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, with which she bound her soul, of no effect, and Yehovah shall forgive her. But every vow of a widow, and of her that is divorced, with which they have bound their souls, shall stand against her. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and does not refuse her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond with which she bound her soul shall stand. But if her husband has utterly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand, her husband has made them void, and Yehovah shall forgive her. Every vow, and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if her husband altogether holds his peace at her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows, or all her bonds, which are upon her, he confirms them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. But if he shall in any way make them void after that he has heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. These are the statutes, which Yehovah commanded Moses, between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being still in her youth in her father's house. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites, afterwards shall you be gathered to your people. And Moses spoke to the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves for the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge Yehovah of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000, throughout all the tribes of Israel, shall you all send to the war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel, 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war, with the holy instruments, and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites, as Yehovah commanded Moses, and they killed all the males. And they killed the kings of Midian, besides the rest of them that were killed, namely, Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian, Balaam also the son of Beor they killed with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives, and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods. And they burnt all their cities where they dwelt, and all their fortresses, with fire. And they took all the spoil, and all the prey, both of men and of beasts. And they brought the captives, and the prey, and the spoil, to Moses, and Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by the Jordan near Jericho. And Moses, and Eleazar the priest, and all the princes of the congregation, went out to meet them outside the camp. And Moses was angry with the officers of the army, with the captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said to them, Have you all saved all the women alive? Look, these caused the children of Israel, through the counsel of Balaam, to commit trespass against Yehovah in the act of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of Yehovah. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that has known a man by lying with him. But all the female children, that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. And all of you do remain outside the camp for 7 days, whoever has killed any person, and whoever has touched any killed, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day. And purify all your clothing, and all that is made of skins, and all work of goat's hair, and all things made of wood. And Eleazar the priest said to the men of war which went to the battle, This is the ordinance of the law which Yehovah commanded Moses. Only the gold, and the silver, the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead. Everything that may go through the fire, you all shall make it go through the fire, and it shall be clean, nevertheless it shall be purified with the water of separation, and all that does not go through by fire you all shall make go through the water. And you all shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and you all shall be clean, and afterwards you all shall come into the camp. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Take the sum of the prey that was taken, both of man and of beast, you, and Eleazar the priest, and the head fathers of the congregation. And divide the prey into 2 parts, between them that took the war upon them, who went out to battle, and between all the congregation. And levy a tribute to Yehovah of the men of war which went out to battle, 1 soul of 500, both of the persons, and of the cattle, and of the male donkeys, and of the sheep. Take it of their half, and give it to Eleazar the priest, for a heave offering of Yehovah. And of the children of Israel's half, you shall take 1 portion of 50, of the persons, of the cattle, of the male donkeys, and of the flocks, of all kinds of beasts, and give them to the Levites, which keep the service of the tabernacle of Yehovah. And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as Yehovah commanded Moses. And the prey, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, was 670,000 and 5,000 sheep, and 72,000 oxen, and 61,000 male donkeys, and 32,000 people in all, of women that had not known a man by lying with him. And the half, which was the portion of them that went out to war, was in number 337,500 sheep. And Yehovah's tribute of the sheep was 675. And the oxen were 36,000, of which Yehovah's tribute was 72. And the male donkeys were 30,500, of which Yehovah's tribute was 61. And the people were 16,000, of which Yehovah's tribute was 32 people. And Moses gave the tribute, which was Yehovah's heave offering, to Eleazar the priest, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And of the children of Israel's half, which Moses divided from the men that warred. Now the half that pertained to the congregation was 337,500 sheep, and 36,000 oxen, and 30,500 male donkeys, and 16,000 people. Even of the children of Israel's half, Moses took 1 portion of 50, both of man and of beast, and gave them to the Levites, which kept the service of the tabernacle of Yehovah, as Yehovah commanded Moses. And the officers who were over thousands of the army, the captains of thousands, and captains of hundreds, came near to Moses. And they said to Moses, Your servants have taken the sum of the men of war which are under our command, and there lacks not 1 man of us. We have therefore brought an offering for Yehovah, what every man has found, of jewels of gold, chains, and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before Yehovah. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of them, even all made jewels. And all the gold of the offering that they offered up to Yehovah, of the captains of thousands, and of the captains of hundreds, was 16,750 shekels. For the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tabernacle of the congregation, for a memorial for the children of Israel before Yehovah. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great amount of cattle, and when they saw the land of Jazer, and the land of Gilead, that, look, the place was a place for cattle. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moses, and to Eleazar the priest, and to the princes of the congregation, saying, Adaroth, and Dibon, and Jazer, and Nimrah, and Heshbon, and Elealeh, and Shabam, and Nebo, and Beon. Even the country which Yehovah struck before the congregation of Israel, is a land for cattle, and your servants have cattle. Therefore, they said, If we have found grace in your sight, let this land be given to your servants for a possession, and do not bring us over the Jordan. And Moses said to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, Shall your brothers go to war, and shall you all sit here? And therefore you discourage all the hearts of the children of Israel from going over into the land which Yehovah has given them. So did your fathers, when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the valley of Eshcol, and saw the land, they discouraged the hearts of the children of Israel, that they should not go into the land which Yehovah had given them. And Yehovah's anger was kindled at the same time, and he swore, saying, Surely none of the men that came up out of Egypt, from 20 years old and upwards, shall see the land which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, because they have not completely followed me. Except Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they have completely followed Yehovah. And Yehovah's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years, until all the generation, that had done evil in the sight of Yehovah, was consumed. And, look, you all have risen up instead of your fathers, an increase of sinful men, to still add to the fierce anger of Yehovah towards Israel. For if you all turn away from after him, he will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and you all shall destroy all this people. And they came near to him, and said, We will build sheepfolds here for our cattle, and cities for our little ones. But we ourselves will go ready armed before the children of Israel, until we have brought them to their place, and our little ones shall dwell in the fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our houses, until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance. For we will not inherit with them over there on the Jordan side, or afterwards, because our inheritance is fallen to us on this side eastward of the Jordan. And Moses said to them, If you all will do this thing, if you all will go armed before Yehovah to war, and all of you will go armed over Jordan before Yehovah, until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land is subdued before Yehovah, then afterwards you all shall return, and be guiltless before Yehovah, and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before Yehovah. But if you all will not do so, look, you all have sinned against Yehovah, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build yourselves cities for your little ones, and folds for your sheep, and do that which has proceeded out of your mouth. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke to Moses, saying, Your servants will do as my Lord commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our cattle, shall be there in the cities of Gilead. But your servants will pass over, every man armed for war, before Yehovah to battle, as my Lord says. So concerning them Moses commanded Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the head fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moses said to them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over the Jordan, every man armed to battle, before Yehovah, and the land shall be subdued before you, then you all shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. But if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As Yehovah has said to your servants, so will we do. We will pass over armed before Yehovah into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on this side of the Jordan may be ours. And Moses gave to them, even to the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, and to half the tribe of Manasseh the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og king of Bashan, the land, with the cities on it in the coasts, even the cities of the country round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aroer, and Atroth, Shaphan, and Jazer, and Jogbehah, and Beth-Nimrah, and Beth-Haran, fenced cities, and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Elealeh, and Kirjathaim, and Nebo, and Baalmeon, their names being changed, and Shibmah, and gave other names to the cities which they built. And the children of Machir the son of Manasseh went to Gilead, and took it, and dispossessed the Amorite which was in it. And Moses gave Gilead to Machir the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt in it. And Jair the son of Manasseh went and took the small towns on it, and called them Havothjair. And Nobah went and took Kenath, and the villages on it, and called it Nobah, after his own name. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went out outside of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their exodus according to their journeys by the commandment of Yehovah, and these are their journeys according to their exodus. And they departed from Ramses in the 1st month, on the 15th day of the 1st month. On the next day after the Passover the children of Israel went out with a high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians. For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn, which Yehovah had struck among them. Yehovah executed judgments also upon their gods. And the children of Israel removed from Ramses, and pitched in Sukkah. And they departed from Sukkah, and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. And they removed from Etham, and turned again to Pahahiroth, which is before Baal-Zephon, and they pitched before Migdol. And they departed from before Pahahiroth, and passed through the middle of the sea into the wilderness, and went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham, and pitched in Marah. And they removed from Marah, and came to Elim, and in Elim were 12 fountains of water, and 70 palm trees, and they pitched there. And they removed from Elim, and encamped by the Red Sea. And they removed from the Red Sea, and encamped in the wilderness of Sin. And they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin, and encamped in Dovka. And they departed from Dovka, and encamped in Alish. And they removed from Alish, and encamped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. And they departed from Rephidim, and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. And they removed from the desert of Sinai, and pitched at Kibroth Hattova. And they departed from Kibroth Hattova, and encamped at Hazeroth. And they departed from Hazeroth, and pitched in Rithmah. And they departed from Rithmah, and pitched at Rimmon Perez. And they departed from Rimmon Perez, and pitched in Libnah. And they removed from Libnah, and pitched at Rissah. And they journeyed from Rissah, and pitched in Kehilatha. And they went from Kehilatha, and pitched in Mount Shapher. And they removed from Mount Shapher, and encamped in Harada. And they removed from Harada, and pitched in Macheloth. And they removed from Macheloth, and encamped at Tahat. And they departed from Tahat, and pitched at Terah. And they removed from Terah, and pitched in Mithka. And they went from Mithka, and pitched in Hashmanah. And they departed from Hashmanah, and encamped at Mosroth. And they departed from Mosroth, and pitched in Benajacan. And they removed from Benajacan, and encamped at Horajijid. And they went from Horajijid, and pitched in Jotbatha. And they removed from Jotbatha, and encamped at Ebrona. And they departed from Ebrona, and encamped at Eziongaber. And they removed from Eziongaber, and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. And they removed from Kadesh, and pitched in Mount Hor, in the edge of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest went up into Mount Hor at the commandment of Yehovah, and died there, in the 40th year after the children of Israel had come out of the land of Egypt, in the 1st day of the 5th month. And Aaron was 123 years old when he died in Mount Hor. And King Arad the Canaanite, who dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. And they departed from Mount Hor, and pitched in Zalmanah. And they departed from Zalmanah, and pitched in Punon. And they departed from Punon, and pitched in Abath. And they departed from Abath, and pitched in Ijebarim, in the border of Moab. And they departed from Iim, and pitched in Dibongad. And they removed from Dibongad, and encamped in Ammon-Diblathaim. And they removed from Ammon-Diblathaim, and pitched in the mountains of Abarim, before Nebo. And they departed from the mountains of Abarim, and pitched in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho. And they pitched by Jordan, from Beth-Jezimoth even to Abel-Shittim in the plains of Moab. And Yehovah spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you all have passed over the Jordan into the land of Canaan. Then you all shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and pull down all their high places. And you all shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land, and dwell in it, for I have given you the land to possess it. And you all shall divide the land by lot for an inheritance among your families, and to the more you all shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer you all shall give the less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falls, according to the tribes of your fathers you all shall inherit. But if you all will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass, that those which all of you let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes, and thorns in your sides, and shall distress you in the land which all of you dwell. Also it shall come to pass, that I shall do to you, as I thought to do to them. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say to them, when you all come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan with the coasts on it. Then your south quarter shall be from the wilderness of Zin along by the coast of Edom, and your south border shall be the outermost coast of the Salt Sea eastward. And your border shall turn from the south to the ascent of Akrabim, and pass on to Zin, and the going out on it shall be from the south to Kadesh Barnea, and shall go on to Hazeradar, and pass on to Asmon. And the border shall turn from Asman to the river of Egypt, and the end of it shall be at the sea. And as for the western border, you all shall even have the great sea for a border, this shall be your west border. And this shall be your north border, from the great sea you all shall point out for you Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you all shall point out your border to the entrance of Hamath, and the end of the border shall be to Zedad. And the border shall go on to Ziphron, and the end of it shall be at Hazaranah, this shall be your north border. And you all shall point out your east border from Hazaranah to Shephem. And the coast shall go down from Shephem to Riblah, on the east side of En, and the border shall descend, and shall reach to the side of the sea of Chinnereth eastward. And the border shall go down to Jordan, and the end of it shall be at the salt sea, this shall be your land with the coasts on it round about. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land which you all shall inherit by lot, which Yehovah commanded to give to the 9 tribes, and to the half-tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and half the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance on this side of the Jordan near Jericho eastward, towards the sun rising. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, These are the names of the men which shall divide the land to you, Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun. And you all shall take 1 prince of every tribe, to divide the land by inheritance. And the names of the men are these, of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh. And of the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel the son of Ammihud. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad the son of Kislon. And the prince of the tribe of the children of Dan, Bukai the son of Jogli. The prince of the children of Joseph, for the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel the son of Ephod. And the prince of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel the son of Shifton. And the prince of the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elizaphan the son of Parnach. And the prince of the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltiel the son of Azan. And the prince of the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahiad the son of Shalomi. And the prince of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Pedahel the son of Ammihud. These are they whom Yehovah commanded to divide the inheritance to the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. And Yehovah spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel, that they give to the Levites of the inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in, and you all shall give also to the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. And the cities they shall have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their animals. And the suburbs of the cities, which you all shall give to the Levites, shall reach from the wall of the city and outwards 1,000 cubits round about. And you all shall measure from without the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits, and the city shall be in the middle, this shall be to them the suburbs of the cities. And among the cities which you all shall give to the Levites there shall be 6 cities for refuge, which you all shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee to there, and you all shall add to them 42 cities. So all the cities which you all shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities, them shall you all give with their suburbs. And the cities which you all shall give shall be of the possession of the children of Israel, from them that have many you all shall give many, but from them that have few you all shall give few, everyone shall give of his cities to the Levites according to his inheritance which he inherits. And Yehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you all go over the Jordan into the land of Canaan. Then you all shall appoint yourselves cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee to there, who has killed any person in error. And they shall be to you cities for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer shall not die, until he stands before the congregation in judgment. And of these cities which you all shall give 6 cities shall you all have for refuge. You all shall give 3 cities on this side of the Jordan, and 3 cities shall you all give in the land of Canaan, which shall be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be a refuge, both for the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the resider among them, that everyone that kills any person in error may flee to there. And if he strikes him with an instrument of iron, so that he dies, he is a murderer, the murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he strikes him by throwing a stone, with which he may die, and he dies, he is a murderer, the murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he strikes him with a hand weapon of wood, with which he may die, and he dies, he is a murderer, the murderer shall surely be put to death. The revenger of blood himself shall kill the murderer, when he meets him, he shall kill him. But if he thrust him of hatred, or hurl at him by lying in wait, that he dies. Or in enmity strike him with his hand, that he dies, he that struck him shall surely be put to death, for he is a murderer, the revenger of blood shall kill the murderer, when he meets him. But if he thrust him suddenly without enmity, or had cast upon him anything without lying in wait, or with any stone, with which a man may die, not seeing him, and cast it upon him, that he dies, and was not his enemy, neither sought his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, where he has fled, and he shall remain in it to the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. But if the slayer shall at any time come outside the border of the city of his refuge, where he has fled, and the revenger of blood finds him outside the borders of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kills the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest, but after the death of the high priest the slayer shall return into the land of his possession. So these things shall be for a statute of judgment to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever kills any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses, but one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Also you all shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. And you all shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land, until the death of the priest. So you all shall not pollute the land in which you all are, for blood it defiles the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed in it, but by the blood of him that shed it. Therefore do not defile the land which you all shall inhabit, which I dwell, for I Yehovah dwell among the children of Israel. And the head fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near, and spoke before Moses, and before the princes, the head fathers of the children of Israel. And they said, Yehovah commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel, and my Lord was commanded by Yehovah to give the inheritance of Zelophehad our brother to his daughters. And if they are married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe to where they are received, so shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. And when the jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put to the inheritance of the tribe to where they are received, so shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Yehovah, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph have said well. This is the thing which Yehovah does command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best, they shall marry only to the family of the tribe of their father. So the inheritance of the children of Israel shall not be moved from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter, that possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel, shall be a wife to one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance be moved from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance. Even as Yehovah commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Mahlah, Tirzah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married to their father's brothers' sons. And they were married into the families of the sons of Manasseh the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the judgments, which Yehovah commanded by the hand of Moses to the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan near Jericho.